Equity Mate.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.
Welcome to another episode of Equity Mates, where we will help you learn to invest in 15 minutes or less. We break down the world of investing from beginning to dividend so that you can hopefully make some returns. My name is Bryce, and as always, I'm joined by my innovative episode scheduler, Equity Buddy Ren. How are you going, bro?
I'm very good, Bryce. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one.
Should we explain the the change in the introduction?
Yes?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, as Bryce has pointed out, this episode is on me. So, if it all tanks, send the feedback to me rather than to Bryce. This came about because the World Cup is going on at the moment, so everyone is a bit soccer mad, and there was a report out that Cristiano Ronaldo, one of, if not the best player of his generation, is looking to move from Real Madrid, where he is in Spain, to Juventus, which is an Italian club. And apparently the Juventus are willing to pay Real Madrid 200 million Aussie dollars, or the equivalent of 200 million Aussie dollars for Ronaldo. That's not what they're going to pay Ronaldo. That's just what they're going to pay.
Transfer fee.
The transfer, yeah. So, and then in the media, they were talking about how Juventus's share price jumped on the news, and that sort of surprised me. I didn't know that Juventus was publicly traded, and I've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole with that, and so I thought I'd share some of what I found with you guys. Cool. So I guess this episode is around some different sporting teams that are traded and how they go, and I'll ask you some questions about them. But then I even went further, and there's just some really strange things out there that you can invest in. So
I bet there are.
We'll have a bit of a chat about that.
I think the Ronaldo thing's super interesting. It's almost like not like Elon Musk, but the fact that he's not confirmed that he's going there, but there's a bid on the table because he's very good each year at ragging on his club that he plays for because he's not the highest paid soccer player in the world, yet he's probably deservedly meant to be.
Interesting. Is that something that he does every year?
Absolutely. So did you hear what he did at the end of the Champions League final?
No, what do you do?
So before they were even off the field, this is like 2 minutes after the final, a reporter walks up to him and he's like, I have really enjoyed playing for Real Madrid. I know my fans, I want to thank the fans, at least they respect me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before like all his other teammates are celebrating and stuff, and he's just slamming Real Madrid. Rohan, one of our mates, was saying that he does it every year just to try and get a pay increase. Says he's going to leave and then his manager steps in and gets him a pay increase because, for example, Messi is the highest paid in the world, and he's like on double what Ronaldo is almost.
Really?
Yeah. And then there's two guys who are nowhere near as good as Ronaldo, but they play in the China League, which apparently pays fortunes to these players. And then Ronaldo's in at number 4, I think. I could be wrong with that, but it's something along those lines. And so, yeah, it's almost like a CEO playing the media, playing the market, saying, oh, we're going to do this X, Y, and Z to try and drive his price up a bit. And then, he'll probably end up signing with Real Madrid on a mega deal again. But who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny. People always rag on sports stars for, asking for more money and stuff, but I'm always of the view that, they're the ones creating the value, like the organizations and the team owners and all that, they get paid very well for value that's created by these players. So, I have no problem with players wanting to get as much value out of it as they can. You're there for 10 years, or if you're an NFL player, you're there for like 5 years, and then you're done.
Yeah. Well, let's briefly talk about Juventus. So, how do you invest in it?
So, yeah, they're publicly traded. So, just like any other company, they have a stock ticker, and they're traded in Italy, and their stock ticker is JUVE.
Yeah.
Now, they're currently trading at 88 cents.
88 cents?
Yeah.
Wow.
They've got a lot of shares.
How long have they been public for?
How long?
Yeah.
Good question.
Doesn't seem like an awful lot of money.
I think since 2001. So
Wow.
it looks like they floated at around $3.50.
Whoa, and they've just tanked.
In 2012, they fell to like 20 cents, and now they're back at around 88 cents now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So my thinking with this is that, like, what are you investing in? Because obviously you're investing in the success of the club.
Yeah. So
It's so volatile.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ways that they can make money. So let's start with Juventus isn't the only club that's public. There's a bunch. Manchester United is one of the bigger ones globally, and then in Australia, even the Brisbane Broncos are public. So
That's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
The Broncos.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's in any super funds in Australia.
Oh, you wouldn't think so.
No.
Hold on, I've got some stats around how much they make and stuff, but
Okay.
we'll get to that. I guess so. The main ways they make money is from prize money, and that's especially for these big football clubs where there's a lot of prize money on the line, Champions League, stuff like that. The second one is broadcast rights. So they obviously get bigger cuts of the TV rights deals and radio rights deals and stuff like that. And then the third one is they have massive merchandise sales. And that was part of the reason why Juventus, everyone thought there was a lot of value there because, Ronaldo goes
Everyone's
to your team. Everyone's going to buy a Ronaldo jersey and stuff like that. And then, some of the bigger clubs have their own sort of media networks, TV networks, big online social media presence and stuff that they can then sell advertising through. And, Liverpool TV, Manchester United TV on Foxtel. So they would make money from that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're businesses at the end of the day. Sport is a business.
Absolutely, yeah.
So to give you an idea of the scale, so Juventus has a market cap, so that's the total value of all the shares on issue, of 796 million euro.
Okay.
And they made in revenue 562 million euros, so €500 million in revenue last year. Manchester United, their market cap is over $3 billion, and their revenue was £581 million, so about £600 million last year. So given that's the sort of scale that we're talking about, what do you reckon Brisbane Broncos came in at?
So what was the last one?
So Manchester United has a market cap of over $3 billion, and they made about 600 million in revenue last year.
600 million in revenue.
Yeah.
Holy moly. So firstly, my thought process when you were saying that is, would any of these be in the ASX 200?
Well, no, because they're not Australian.
No. If based on market cap, I'm wondering if they would fall.
If they were
190 million pounds is good enough to make the ASX 200.
You would think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to find anyway, we can look at that later. But Brisbane Broncos, so there's no way they made 600 million revenue last year, that's for sure. I would say their market cap, it would be, it's not going to be great, but it's probably not going to be shocking. I would say 110 million.
Okay. No, less than half of that. So their market cap is 49 million, and they made $46.5 million in revenue last year, which, you know what, I was actually pretty surprised by. I don't know what I was expecting, but the TV rights deal was, I think, just over $1 billion, and that's over however many years, and it's got to be spread across a lot of clubs. So I was pretty impressed.
So I'm just looking at their share price now, actually. So 50 cents.
Yeah. So if you
hasn't
look
really
back,
done much over 12 months.
Yeah, it's traded in the last 12 months between 44 cents and 56 cents. It's hasn't gone very far, but I think that's probably the point that Brisbane, every year they are pretty good. They would sell a lot of jerseys. They would get some TV money, and they're not going to grow, but they're not going to shrink either.
Yeah, very interesting. So, would you invest in any of this?
If I was a fan, maybe. If the Swans were publicly traded, I might start investing and then keep investing and then hopefully own 5% of the company and get a seat on the board. But, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the best investment in terms of making money.
No, I agree. They don't really make sense to me. Anyway, let's move on.
That was where my sort of journey started, and then I sort of was looking at what else is out there, and both the Formula One, the car racing, and the WWE, the wrestling,
yes,
are both publicly traded. Now, the Formula One, it's a bit difficult because it's owned by like a parent company that also owns the Atlanta Braves, which is a American baseball team, and then they also own Sirius XM Radio. So it was difficult to sort of split Formula One out. But in terms of profitability, who do you think's more profitable, Formula One or WWE?
I'm going to say WWE.
I thought that as well, and it sounded like it was going to be a trick question, but Formula One kill it.
Oh, really?
$255 million in profit by the looks of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
good business.
Pretty good business to be in,
So it's publicly traded. I thought that Eccleston dude ran it, but it's not private anymore. Are you saying it's publicly traded?
Yeah. I mean, look,
on what?
So it's owned by this company, Liberty Media, but it's weird. I was trying to understand the corporate structure this morning. If you just go...
it's on the NASDAQ.
Yeah, if you go, the stock ticker is FWONA.
Yeah, $36.
But then there's like different series of shares, but then this Liberty Media company that owns it also has a bunch of other stock tickers for like Sirius XM. I don't know. To be honest, I was really confused. But yeah, they're owned by a parent company, but you can buy shares of Formula One still.
Again, just like ups and downs. It's just hard to... I just don't understand really, like, how do you derive the value? Like, obviously, it's just really comes from advertising revenue and that sort of stuff, like crowd numbers. It's to me, it's a bit too volatile. Like, what the inputs into the business are. I
guess in the same way that, Disney, its value comes from its content, and then it finds a bunch of different ways to monetize its content, from movies and TV to theme parks and toys and all that. In the same way, these sport, well, especially like WWE and Formula One, as the sport itself, they're content producers, and then they just find different ways to derive value from that content. Yeah,
true. It's just weird. See, since April to May till now, Formula One's gone from $28 to $36.60.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's happening? Why?
No, well, the crazy one. Look at WWE's share price. So in April this year, so what are we talking? Like 3 months ago, they were $37.50, and they've just shot up to now $76. So
wow, look at their share price.
More than doubled in like 3 months.
This time a year ago, it was $20.
Yeah, it's crazy. I to be honest, I haven't done all my research. I don't know what changed, but obviously things are looking up for WWE.
From 2013 until 2017, it was between $11 and $18. So reasonable growth if you got in then. And then from 2017 to now, it's gone from $18 to $76.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's around the same time they announced WrestleMania at the MCG. I've been seeing ads for that.
Ads that show that the stadium is packed, by the way. And I'm thinking, surely they're not going to fill the MCG with 100,000 people to watch WWE. Like, sure.
Even if you sell out the MCG, there's a lot of space between the edge of the seats and the ring.
They'll put people on the floor for sure.
Will they? Yeah. Okay. Because then it's all right. Well, I'll be interested to see how they set it up.
So this WWE graph is one that I want to show Matt when we speak to him, because it looks like it's going left to right, and so I want to see what he thinks. It's traded in New York. I wonder if it's on stake.
Yeah, well, if listeners want to see what we're looking at, they can just, if you search WWE share price in Google, it'll come up. But yeah, so that's sort of where this whole thing started. I was looking at teams. I was looking at teams that were traded, and then I looked at the games themselves that were traded, and then I sort of was wondering, well, what else is there? And there's actually stadiums that are traded in America. So I guess the equivalent would be if the MCG or the SCG or Etihad Stadium was publicly traded as its own company. There are two. Madison Square Garden, in New York, where the New York Knicks and the Rangers play, and they have a $7.7 billion market cap, which surprised me because I was like, that's a stadium, and that's more than WWE. That's more than double Manchester United. But it turns out that the stadium itself actually owns the New York Rangers and the New York Knicks, the ice hockey and the basketball team.
Yeah.
So if you invest in the stadium, you just get two sports teams thrown in, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
And then the Churchill Downs, which is where the Kentucky Derby is held, similar to like Randwick being publicly traded, and it's apparently worth over $4 billion. So you can buy a sports team, you can buy the sports leagues, or you can buy a stadium itself. So if you love your sport, there's plenty of ways to get involved. You don't just have to invest in, Nike or Under Armour or Lululemon or any of them.
You can invest in some seats and a bit of concrete and get a stadium. What the hell?
By the looks of it, they do all right.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
So strange. Again, so you're just relying on tickets through the door and...
Yeah.
Strange.
So then I was like, I wonder what else is available.
How deep did you go?
Well, I was just, I was bored, didn't have much to do, and I thought there would be more really weird stuff. And there was one more that I found. And so I'm going to ask you in the form of which one of these is true. Yeah, which one of these is a real publicly traded company? So option 1, Space Exploration Incorporated, a company that sends spacecraft into low Earth orbit to collect space junk that still has value and return it to Earth. Option 2, Odyssey Marine Exploration, a company that explores for and salvages shipwrecks in the hope to find sunken treasure. Or option 3, Jungle Exploration Society, a company that searches the world's deepest jungles for hidden civilizations and their treasures.
Interesting. So is only one correct?
Yeah, one is a real company. The other two I've made up.
God, you must be bored. Okay, I'm going to go with the real one is the ship Odyssey.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, apparently they just, like, their business model is to just try and find shipwrecks. Not
a bad business model, but like, what's their success rate, I wonder?
They were just in a massive fight with the Spanish government. So I think they found...
I heard this. Where they found one that had like billions of dollars worth of...
Yeah, well, I think it was $500 million worth, but still, like, massive for them, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was off the coast of Florida, so I guess it must have been a Spanish ship or...
Yeah, and the Spanish government think that it's theirs.
Yeah, which is, some colonial overtones to it, but anyway. So salvaging shipwrecks.
So they're publicly listed as well.
Yeah, so you can invest in them and you can back them in to find hidden treasure and pirate gold. And then I won't drag this out too much longer, but there was one other thing that surprised me. So this isn't companies per se, but you can buy futures contracts, and they're options where you're basically betting on a price going up or down.
Yeah.
But the US government has banned some really weird futures markets. So the last question for you today, and thanks for playing along and indulging me on this episode.
Okay. That's been fun.
2 out of these 3 futures markets have been banned by the US government. Which one of them is still allowed?
Okay.
Option 1, movie release futures. So, betting on the success or failure of box office releases. Option 2, weather futures. So that's making predictions or betting on the weather, the temperature and the amount of snowfall and stuff like that. And then option 3, the futures markets for onions, specifically brown onions, and like their commodity prices.
Which one of these is still in existence?
Yeah, two of them have been banned and one of them is still allowed.
So all of them were real at some point in time?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
So I think betting on the weather is banned.
So 2 of them are banned. So what's your other guess?
Yeah. So betting on the weather is banned. Box office or brown onions? Brown onions. Futures of brown onions, agriculture. I mean, doesn't seem as gambling-like as the betting on the futures of box office, but box office, again, pretty big thing in the States. They've banned the box office as well.
So you got one right and one wrong.
Damn.
So the one that is still allowed is the weather futures.
What?
So you can make predictions, well, you can buy options for weather, but movie releases, so that was banned in 2010 by Obama's Dodd-Frank regulation after the JFC. I couldn't really understand why. The best I could read was that there was a lot of lobbying from the movie industry.
Strange.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. And then brown onions. The onion futures market is banned because in 1955, 2 traders took possession of like 98% of America's onion market and just like ruined the economy. They stockpiled them all and drove the price up massively, and then shorted them and just flooded the market to the point where the bags that the onions came in were worth more than the onions themselves.
Wow.
And so then they put a law in banning just the onion futures market. But, if commodity futures is pretty normal, like corn futures, soy, all that stuff. But yeah, just not allowed to do onions. And that's why the onion prices are more volatile than a lot of other agricultural commodities.
Jeez, there you go.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Weather, what the hell?
Yeah, apparently it's for companies where, if there's snow, there's a certain amount of snow, there's a cost, so you can hedge some of your risk. I guess if like roads are blocked because of snow. Similarly, if there's like extreme heat, you can hedge some of your risk by
gotcha.
By buying the
betting against
option.
it.
Yeah. I'm not across options enough to tell you which one you'd buy to profit off hot weather,
Heat.
but there is a way to do it. So if anyone's interested, if anyone is a aspiring weather person and they want to profit off their skills, go to Chicago, go to the options exchange there, and you could be rich.
Nice. Well, there you go, Ren. So it's not all about mining companies, tech companies, and banks and super funds and that sort of stuff. It sounds like there's plenty of other things out there that you could actually find almost anything that you're interested in, and then in some form or another actually put some money down and back them all the way, be it stadiums, the weather, not brown onions if you're into that sort of thing. Too bad, you're out of the market. Sports teams, and what was the other one? Ships that trawl the ocean for hidden treasure.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that was cool. So maybe I need to do a reply surprise episode and give you something of interest.
If you're ever bored and just on a mindless sort of Wikipedia hole, you never know what you'll find.
Yeah. Matt, the CEO of Stake, actually has just messaged through. I asked him about the WWE, and he's just replied, "It's a machine!" Exclamation!
Okay, interesting.
Maybe we get on it.
I never was into WWE as a kid. Like there were.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, there were people I played cricket with who were like, they would play cricket, go home, and like set up and watch 4 hours of WWE in the afternoon.
Absolutely, I have an ongoing argument with a mate at work who is obsessed with it, and he's like 45.
What?
Yeah, obsessed with it, and I'm just like, mate, it's fake. He loves the storylines, loves the drama and the thematics around the whole thing.
He knows it's fake though, right?
He knows it's fake, but he says it's he's like, it's fake, but it's not fake because like they're actually like fighting and stuff on stage. I'm like, it's all scripted though. He's like, no, yeah, it's scripted, but it's real. Like,
oh God.
And I'm just like, mate, it's not. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
We're
blown over time. So,
well, when you speak to him at work next week, let him know that he can invest in them.
Yeah, will do. All
right. Well, until next time, make sure everyone signs up to Thought Starters, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. Sign up to Thought Starters. It's a nice little way to start the week. Ren, you put a lot of effort into doing it. And so I really encourage everyone who hasn't signed up already, jump across to our website and chuck us your email, and we'll send you a nice wrap of some of the news that has caught our attention. We'll give you some long-form articles that you can read throughout the week that will just open your eyes a bit to the world of investing and what's out there. And then we also include some basic 101 content that is specifically tailored towards the beginners to sort of help you on your way. So sign up, equitymates.com, and we'll send that to you every Monday. And that's the only thing we'll send to you. There's no spam, no junk.
Yeah, no ham. No spam.
No ham.
No ham, no spam. We hate spam.
Yes,
so,
we hate spam.
Yeah.
Cool, Ren. Well, that was awesome. So maybe, as I said, I'll try and give you a surprise episode.
Sounds good. Look forward to it.
Yeah, speak soon.
Equity Mates and the people appearing in this program may have positions in the companies mentioned. This is general advice only. Please speak to a financial professional to understand how it may pertain to your individual situation.